Imagine a company that dominated the photography industry for over a century. A company that was so innovative, it created the first consumer-friendly camera, the first color film, and even the first digital camera. Yet, despite all of its success, this company eventually fell from grace and filed for bankruptcy. That company is Kodak. Please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to activate notifications for the latest updates. The rise of Kodak. George Eastman was born into a modest family in Rochester, New York, in 1854. His father was a businessman who struggled to make ends meet. Eastman's mother died when he was 8 years old, and he was raised by his grandmother. Eastman was a bright and curious child. He attended public school, but he was largely self-taught. He loved to read and experiment with science and technology. In 1878, Eastman began working as a bookkeeper for a Rochester insurance company. In his spare time, he pursued his passion for photography. Eastman was frustrated with the wet plate photographic process, which was cumbersome and time-consuming. He began experimenting with dry plate photography, which was a newer, more efficient process. In 1879, Eastman developed a dry plate formula that was superior to any other on the market. He founded the Eastman Dry Plate Company to manufacture and sell his dry plates. Eastman's dry plates were a huge success, and they quickly became the standard in the photography industry. Eastman's company was one of the first businesses to use mass production techniques to manufacture photographic products. This allowed him to produce high-quality products at a low cost. Eastman also invested heavily in advertising and marketing. He created the slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest," which conveyed the message that photography was easy and accessible for everyone. Eastman's dry plates made photography more affordable and convenient for everyone. They also helped to make Kodak the leading manufacturer of cameras and film in the world. In 1884, Eastman introduced the roll film camera. Roll film was a flexible, paper-based film that was much easier to use than dry plates. Eastman also developed a new type of camera that was designed to use roll film. The camera was simple to use and required no special training. In 1888, Eastman introduced the Kodak Brownie camera. The Brownie was the first camera that was truly affordable for the average person. It was priced at just $1, and it was designed to be so easy to use that even a child could operate it. The Brownie was an instant success. It helped to make photography a mainstream hobby, and it made Kodak the leading manufacturer of cameras and film in the world. In addition to the Brownie camera, Kodak introduced a number of other innovative products in the early 20th century. In 1900, the company introduced the Kodak Vest pocket camera, which was the first truly portable camera. In 1935, Kodak introduced Kodachrome, the first color film for home movies. And in 1963, Kodak introduced the Instamatic camera, which was a simple, easy-to-use camera that quickly became the most popular camera in the world. Kodak's success was due in part to its innovative products, but it was also due to its effective marketing campaigns. Kodak's slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest," was simple and memorable. It conveyed the message that photography was easy and accessible for everyone. Kodak also marketed its products heavily to children. The company knew that if it could get children interested in photography, they would likely become lifelong customers. Kodak sponsored photography contests for children and published children's photography magazines. Kodak's dominance of the photography industry was so complete that the company's name became synonymous with photography itself. In the 1960s, it was estimated that Kodak controlled over 80% of the global film market. Kodak's products were known for their high quality and reliability. And the company's slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest," was synonymous with photography. Kodak had a strong brand identity. The company's yellow and red logo was instantly recognizable, and its products were known for their high quality and reliability. Kodak had a near monopoly on the film market. The company's film was used by professional photographers and amateurs alike. Kodak's film processing services were also in high demand. The company had a network of photo finishing labs all over the world. Kodak's success was truly remarkable. In just over 50 years, the company had transformed photography from a specialized hobby into a mainstream pastime. Kodak had made photography accessible and affordable for everyone. The fall of Kodak. In the early 2000s, digital photography became mainstream. This was a disruptive technology that threatened to undermine Kodak's core film business. Kodak was not unaware of this threat, but it was hesitant to embrace digital photography fully. There were a number of reasons for Kodak's reluctance to embrace digital photography. First, the company feared that digital photography would cannibalize its film business. Kodak made a great deal of money from selling film and film processing services. The company also had a large investment in film manufacturing plants and equipment. Kodak made a number of strategic mistakes in the digital photography market. For example, the company focused on developing high-end digital cameras for professional photographers. This left the company vulnerable to competition from other companies that were developing more affordable digital cameras for consumers. Second, Kodak was concerned about the cost of developing and marketing digital cameras. Digital cameras were expensive to produce in the early 2000s. Kodak also lacked the expertise in marketing consumer electronics products. Kodak also made a mistake by marketing its digital cameras under the Kodak brand. The Kodak brand was associated with film photography, and many consumers were reluctant to buy digital cameras from Kodak. Third, Kodak's management team was divided on the issue of digital photography. Some executives believed that the company should invest heavily in digital photography, while others were more cautious. This division made it difficult for Kodak to make a clear and decisive decision about digital photography. Kodak also failed to innovate in the digital photography market. The company did not develop any new and innovative features for its digital cameras. This made Kodak's digital cameras less competitive than those of its rivals. As a result of these factors, Kodak was slow to react to the rise of digital photography. The company did not launch its first consumer-friendly digital camera until 2001. By that time, other companies, such as Canon and Sony, had already established themselves as leaders in the digital camera market. Kodak's market share in the digital camera market declined rapidly in the mid-2000s. The company also faced increasing competition from smartphones, which were becoming increasingly capable of taking high-quality photos. Kodak filed for bankruptcy protection in 2012 after years of struggling to adapt to the rise of digital photography. The company had over $6 billion in debt when it filed for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy filing was a major blow to the company's employees and suppliers. The company laid off thousands of employees in the years leading up to its bankruptcy filing. The company also cut salaries and benefits for its remaining employees. Many of Kodak's suppliers were owed millions of dollars by the company. Some of these suppliers were forced to file for bankruptcy themselves. It also sent a shockwave through the entire photography industry. Kodak emerged from bankruptcy in 2013, but it is now a shadow of its former self. The company has sold off many of its assets, including its film manufacturing business. Kodak now focuses on digital printing and other commercial imaging products. Lessons learned. The story of Kodak is a cautionary tale for businesses of all sizes. It is a reminder that even the most successful companies can be disrupted by new technologies. It is also a reminder that businesses must be willing to adapt and innovate in order to stay ahead of the curve. Here are some key lessons that businesses can learn from Kodak's downfall. Don't be afraid to disrupt yourself. Kodak was reluctant to embrace digital photography because it feared that it would cannibalize its film business. However, this fear ultimately led to the company's downfall. Invest in new technologies early. Kodak was one of the first companies to develop digital camera technology. However, it failed to invest heavily enough in this technology, and it was eventually overtaken by its competitors. Be willing to pivot your business model. When digital photography became mainstream, Kodak tried to pivot to this new technology. However, it was too late. The company had already lost too much market share to its competitors. Kodak's story is a reminder that businesses must be constantly adapting and innovating in order to stay ahead of the curve. Those that fail to do so risk being disrupted by new technologies and new competitors. Please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to activate notifications for the latest updates.